Hi, hello, and welcome. This is your February 2025 forecast for all water signs, starting with Cancer, moving to Scorpio, and into Pisces. You do not have to have a sun sign placement in any of those signs. You could have a Cancer Venus, a Scorpio rising, etc., etc. So if you have any of those placements, stick around. Stick around. So February, I got this reading out a little bit later than I intended. I had a medical procedure done earlier in the month, so I'm a little bit late getting these out. I do try to like to get them out a little bit before the beginning of the month. But the energies I've looked into so far, kind of collectively, February does look to be a challenging month. I think that really the first third of 2025 in particular, we're going to be seeing some very unique struggles, at least for the folks watching this. So just keep that in mind. One of the most important messages I'm getting for everybody is to just really, really pay attention to where you are paying attention. It's very, very important right now that we monitor that. All right, now Cancer, we're off. We're off to an interesting start here. It's all pentacles all day. One of the big things I was picking up for February 2025 was financial insecurity. I'm not necessarily getting bad. Let me put it this way. It seems to be more a fear around finance than an actual lack of finance. We'll see how the rest of the month plays out because I know there's a lot of effery. Effery? Oh my God, I'm trying to keep this PG for YouTube. There's some stuff afoot that we do need to keep an eye on. Cancer, for you in particular, I want you to take a really hard look in the mirror when it comes to the stories that you have about money. It looks like a major, major scarcity trigger is flipped for you this month. And again, this could be because of kind of collective goings on. If you're in the US, there's quite a lot of uncertainty here right now, just about literally everything. But there's something coming up. For one of you, this feels like a divorce. For one of you, this feels like they are not paying their fair share. Like and I feel that there's still an emotional dependence to this person that it feels like you are either separated from or getting separated from. So you're going to want to, this is where this is like come to Jesus shit. You got to be honest about your codependency here. You've got to be honest about your codependency. Cancer, if you're a Cancer or have Cancer placements and you have a fragile nervous system, this might not be the reading for you because I'm about to read you for filth. I'm sorry. Sometimes we go there on this channel. You have to hold yourself accountable for your stories about money, how you use it, and how you spend it. And I can already feel energetic defensiveness creeping up here. Well, you don't know, blah, blah, blah. In my life, girl, trust. I was raised in an environment with financial abuse. I have been reworking my scarcity programming for the better part of 5 years with varying amounts of success, more success than non-success, because doing that, like moving your mindset into abundance programming does work. It period, like full stop. But there's some kind of victimization here that I'm picking up for Cancer. It could be like your baby daddy isn't pulling his fair share. It could be maybe a family member promised to help you out and now they're MIA. But I'm just getting a lot of like blame being projected towards somebody else. And feel your feelings, Cancer. You're probably feeling a lot right now with Mars having been retrograde in your sign as long as it has. By the end of this month, there will be a release of this, I think. And I think you're going to have a really good cry. I think there's going to be laughter when you get to the other side of this. I do feel you getting to the other side of this. Those of you that are willing to put in the damn work, those of you that are willing to hold yourselves and not the rest of the world, not anybody else accountable for where you're at in life. Okay. It starts with you. Let's look at what archetypes you can take advantage of. What is that? Ink on my table. Oh, I love this. I love this card so much. So the archetypes that you can take advantage of to kind of get you out of this victim programming look like play, silliness. If you have kids, having a really good time with your kids. If you don't, or even if you do, tapping into your own inner child, tapping into your creativity, being with people that make you feel like you're able to be who you really are, people you can play with, people you can laugh with. It definitely offsets some of that like kind of contracted energy around scarcity or around pointing the finger and blaming your life on everybody else. I've been there. Victimhood serves for a period before it kind of like wears out its welcome, at least in this house. So what can you do to be more spontaneous, more playful, tap into your creativity? If you're not somebody who considers themselves creative, surround yourself with art, music that makes you feel playful, awake, happy, hopeful. Your advice, Cancer, for the rest of the month is the following. I'm not supposed to always be happy. Let happy sleep. I love this one. How do you know that's what you want exactly? And big barrel of emotion. This is the retrograde. And babe, like I said in the beginning, feel your feelings about stuff. When we say things in the spiritual community, like hold yourself accountable for your shit, that doesn't mean that you just like go numb to your feelings. It's really the opposite. You're moving towards your feelings. You're talking to them. You're understanding them. You're allowing multiple versions of you to exist at once because that is just how it works, right? So, and for one of you, this is manifesting in digestive upset in a big way. So, for whoever that is targeting, like if you're just kind of like I can't eat much, like every time I eat, I don't feel good. First of all, monitor what you're eating. Make sure you're getting enough water, all that good stuff. But maybe get a journal and just like let it out. Let out, write a letter and don't send it, right? This card, the interest in and how you know that's what you want exactly. This is coming back to that sort of like obsessive sort of energy I was picking up in the beginning. Like, I want this person to be this kind of way towards me. I want this, blah, blah. And this is just an invitation, a gentle invitation to look at why you think you want what you want. It doesn't mean what you want is wrong. It's just opening the gateway to more curiosity. And curiosity is a very powerful manifestation tool. It's a very powerful healing tool. And also, if this month ends up sucking, like if there does end up being tension, whether it's around finances, other people, it's okay to just not have a good month. I know no one wants to hear that, but we're allowed to fucking feel what, pardon my French, we're allowed to feel what we feel. We're allowed to feel what we feel. Life isn't always unicorns and rainbows. I think we know that. And I think some of that sort of victimization I was picking up on in the beginning is stemming from a narrative of if I'm a good person, if I just treat everybody with dignity and respect, and I'm going to have a great life. And this realm that we're in, this planet here is not the most fair. I don't know if you've notice that, at least within those kinds of arbitrary, sort of more human laws that we have. There are laws of reality and metaphysics, but that's for another video, another time. All right, Scorpio. What energies? Lots of reversals today. The energy does feel very off kilter, like not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Self-sacrifice. Scorpio, this is a surge of vitality coming in for you. Whereas I kind of felt Cancer sort of stuck in this energetic entanglement with victimhood and somebody else's, mistreatment of them. And again, Cancer, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. That was just the energy that was showing up really strongly. And it's okay. You're going to work through it. This feels almost like the opposite to a certain degree. Like Scorpio, it feels like you are recognizing that anytime you go like extra out of your way to like be the good person, to be the one who always does X, Y, and Z, to do the emotional labor, the physical labor, the intellectual labor for one of you, and this does feel connected to relationships as well. I want you guys to get all of this. If there's relationship stuff that continues to come up, I want you guys to get ahead of this before the Venus retrograde. Venus retrograding into Aries, I'm actually a little bit more alarmed about than I was about Mars in Cancer going retrograde, believe it or another, get into that later. Scorpio, you're recognizing that just like continuing to always be that person, the hero, I guess would be a good way to put this, just leaves you feeling kind of like, what was the point of that? Like, why did I use all that energy when I could have used that energy for this? I could have used that energy to make myself happy, to enrich my life, to find a sense of ease. Like I love the Nine of Cups because the Nine of Cups is like easy joy. Like this is where you're feeling freaking good, dude. This is you're at a party with all your friends, all your needs are met. Things just kind of come to you. This is kind of like trine or sextile energy in astrology to me. So Scorpio, it feels like the lesson here, whereas with Cancer, it was kind of like letting go of victimhood. I think there is a little bit of that here too, but I think you're a little bit further along in that journey of recognizing, like, dude, every time I pour into this vessel, the water just like runs out. Like, there's only so much of me to give, and life is too short to just constantly give. Especially in the emotional sphere, just because we are talking about the Queen of Cups here. Maybe I should fill my own cup. Maybe I should say the word no more often. I don't have to always pick up the phone just because X, Y, and Z person calls me, right? This might be a nice, quick, easy one for Scorpio. Because it feels very just like we're done. Like once you kind of like reach this point, like we're freaking done. I am hearing therapy for one of you. Call your therapist, set up an appointment, do some EMDR about whatever this is, this over giving, this feeling of being self-sacrificial. Yeah, I mean, even if it's just to celebrate the fact that you've gotten to the other side of this shit. Like, we're done. Like, we've opened the gift of and it said yes to the gift of allowing ourselves to feel joy and, keep a little bit of more energy for ourselves. Our subconscious is even celebrating here. Like, look at all this cups, look at all this water energy that's coming in this reading. This wound that they were bringing up in the beginning, Scorpio, has probably been with you a really long time. And for one of you, it's on your mom's side and it's ancestral. So this is even like generational trauma that you are either have already healed, you will heal by the end of this month, or you're on the cusp of healing. If you don't get through this by March, the only reason I'm saying this, like, there are occasional windows of opportunity. That's why we study astrology. It's why we look at kind of the coming and goings of energy, where you can really, really get a lot of work done in a shorter amount of time. I want you, to the best of your ability, Scorpio, like we were talking about in the very beginning of the video, pay attention where you're paying attention. Focus on how many times in like one day, 1 week, you can stay in your lane and continue to fill your own cup. Okay. Your advice, we're moving into the rest of the month. Never leave it blank. Make something stupid, throw it in the vault. Pulled this card a couple of times for this month. So I think there's a lot of fear going on right now. This is basically don't stop creating. I do feel for a couple of you with Scorpio placements, and this is especially true if you have some combination of Scorpio, Aries, and Cancer. They're being really specific. If you're feeling stagnant, like I'm feeling like I've just been sitting for too long, physically, even emotionally a little bit, they want you to just like, even if it's a stick, like say you're an artist, right? And you've had a little bit of a block, even if all you draw is a stick figure, draw it. Draw shape. If you're an author, just word salad. If you're a singer, sing abracadabra like 1,000 times. You'll just do something. Move that creative energy somewhere. Like I said, I've pulled this card a couple of times. I think because so many people fear this, they fear the unknown, they fear change, they fear literal, and this means literal death. Like 0.0000001% of the time. This is more just about how things are shifting and changing. The key word I like to focus on here is play. Okay, everything is changing. And by the time 2025 is over, this world, it's not going to be unrecognizable, but it's going to be very different. So just know that we are in a shedding process. This is also the year of the snake, the year of the wood snake, I believe, which involves a lot of shedding of old layers, new energy coming in. Would you be nervous performing for a galaxy you never see again? I think this is the third time I pulled this for the collective readings in February. This is kind of like, all bets are kind of off at this point. Like, who cares what anybody thinks of you? Like, honestly, it's none of our business what other people think of us anyway. So just be your weird ass self, okay? Pisces. I hope I didn't say Aquarius at the beginning of this live because I stupidly wrote down Aquarius on my notes. I meant Pisces. Pisces. Look at you. Same energy as Scorpio. Okay. There is a lot going on in Pisces, and there will be a lot going on in Pisces for a while longer. There's a couple of messages I'm getting pretty loudly with this. One of this that I just heard is get out of Dodge. I want to say this delicately. If you are somebody with Pisces placements and you feel like you are living in a community that was not built for you, and not safe for you, and you're noticing some trends and you're noticing certain words being tossed around, and the noose is tightening a little bit energetically to get yourself into a better position. I know this is sounding a little privileged. Not everybody can just pick up and leave, but even just setting the intention to get yourself into a place of energy that just feels more congruent with who you are, Pisces, it is time to make plans to do so. This feels like northern Midwest is where I'm picking this up. Possibly Oklahoma as well. There's somebody in I feel it's Iowa, Oklahoma. They're saying something about Michigan too. This is kind of giving, I don't want to do the same things that I was taught. Like, I don't know, it is literally giving, like, if I follow in the footsteps of those before me, especially if those before me are not congruent with my energy, you're not going to find fulfillment. Eights are about like in tarot about empowerment, like keeping promises to yourself, like really stepping into it. Like it's strength in the major arcana, right? And there's something here for Pisces about just like, this is not me. This is not who I am. Just because people are telling me to do this, for some of you, it might even be that your literal family members are expecting you to be a certain kind of way. If you're in a caregiving situation, kind of stuck here, I feel for you, because you can't just walk away from those situations. But maybe get a hobby. I'm feeling like break the mold. Maybe listen to music that you don't usually listen to, watch things that are going to inspire you, but like movement again, like enough with the stagnation. Also, I'm hearing enough with waiting for the chance to come to you. Fucking go get it. Like, go get it. You have to take some kind of action, Pisces. I know Pisces can sometimes, Pisces is like literal water. So like, but there is an opportunity. I think I want to say around February 21st. Well, actually, they're showing me February 18th to the 23rd. There's some kind of energetic opening here to start something. So I don't know if this is maybe moving somewhere, like I mentioned for the person who are several people before, like getting into a safer location. But there is going to be a window where you might get an offering. Do you want to do this? Do you want to go here? Make sure that offering is coming from somebody that you remotely trust. But I like this. I feel like Pisces, you're going to get out of whatever that slog is. You're going to get out of whatever that sort of boredom or that feeling of like, I can't do it, the lack of confidence, but you are going to have to take advantage of it. This requires movement. All three water signs, you are being asked to like do the thing. Don't just wait for the thing to do it for itself. Like you have to actually take steps and take action. Get some advice cards for Cancer and we'll call it a day. Excuse me, Pisces, Jesus. I promise I have a brain, you guys. It's in there somewhere. Might be rattling around a little bit, but it is in there. Being out of, this is that boredom. This is that like, this is feeling like, oh, Pisces, baby. Muffin. Pisces, you might need to do a little bit of parts work on yourself or with a therapist. If you've never done parts work, definitely try to do it with a therapist the first time, also known as IFS. If you're curious about that, I do have an offering on my website. You can go into it. You can message me. You can do a consultation. But it basically looks at the different parts of you through the lens of curiosity and open compassion. And just you basically open up a channel of communication. You listen to those parts, kind of see what they're presenting to you. What do those parts do for you? How long have they been there, et cetera, et cetera. Because Pisces, this is just feeling like massive overwhelm. Like if this was a tarot card, this would probably be the 7 of Cups. Just too much going on and nowhere to put anything. So I keep hearing, excuse me, change your environment, change your environment, change your environment. 360s is in the 60s too. So I'm not sure if 6s are a sync for some of you. If you're out of ideas, change your location, even if that location is a mental space. Like, are you ruminating? I'm getting a lot of rumination. Cancer and Pisces both, like so much freaking rumination. And that rumination is slowing you down energetically, creatively. So what can you do to spice things up? Pisces, what can you do to change? Move your body if nothing else comes to mind. Okay. That is everybody. Hang in there, fam. We're going to get through all this. I will get the March readings out by the last week of this month. Stay on top of that. And stay tuned. I will have a couple of pick-up piles coming up over the next few weeks. We'll do some energy check-ins and my weekly tarot for Zodiac, which I will do after I go on to TikTok sometime this week as well. All right, you guys take care.